Hello, all. I really feel very privileged to be with you today, to welcome you to this very important event. Many of you, dear friends and colleagues and partners in our Idea for Action initiative. Let me just make a few introductory remarks before we move to the introductory comments from Marie Pengetsu, the Managing Director of the World Bank for Development Policy and Partnership. Basically, this event is an important milestone of two very impactful initiatives: the Idea for Action joint initiative between the World Bank and the Zingling Center at Wharton School, and the partnership between Tanoto Foundation and the Wharton School. The main objectives of this event are, first, of course, to re-emphasize the critical importance of young entrepreneurs respond to the Sustainable Development Goal and the ESG principles. The other opportunity to share lessons learned and best practices to the two initiatives which I already mentioned, the partnership between Tanoto Foundation and Wharton and the Idea for Action initiative. And equally important, to have an opportunity to hear the presentation from the winning proposals from the Idea for Action Incubator initiative under the Tanoto Foundation umbrella, an opportunity for young people to interact with each other and come with some specific proposal for next steps. The whole event is basically organized in two parts. The first part is the plenary session, which I already described. And I would like to also encourage you when we come to the Q&A part of the session to interact with us, present your comments, ideas, suggestions, and so on. The second part is the action-oriented part, where in breakout rooms, the winners of the incubator competition, the members of Idea for Action Student Club, and the students from Legal Study, Social Impact and Responsibility course will work together and come with proposals for follow-up activities. Now it's my big pleasure to introduce Marie Pengetsu, the Managing Director of the World Bank. I must say that we are very pleased that despite a very, very busy schedule and travel, particularly immediately after the IMF and the World Bank spring meetings, Maria agreed to deliver these introductory remarks. So if I will ask Fanny if she can help us with this. Fanny, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to be here with you today at this event. 6 years ago, the World Bank and the Wharton School Zingling Center launched the Ideas for Action, or I4A initiative, which is an annual competition for young people from all over the world to develop innovative new ideas for achieving the UN SDGs in local situations in their own countries. The program has become a wonderful platform to bring young people together about finding solutions for SDGs and has generated a lot of interest. Since 2015, 18,000 young people working in teams have submitted their creative ideas. In 2020, over 4,100 proposals were submitted from 152 countries. Other than the I4A initiative, in 2018 we also launched the SDGs and Her initiative with two additional partners, UNDP and UN Women. Interestingly, all 6 SDGs and Her 2020 winners were young women, reaffirming their capacity to respond to the challenges posed by SDGs. Through the I4A and the SDG and her initiatives, young professionals, students, and entrepreneurs are clearly taking a leadership role at the global as well as at the local level to develop innovative ideas, improve the enabling ecosystem, and move from ideas to actionable solutions for sustainable and inclusive development that can also be scaled up. An important part of the value creation of this platform is to provide young entrepreneurs and leaders with access to knowledge, networking opportunities, and mentorship and incubation and financing opportunities. Wharton has played an important leadership role in this regard by bringing together many academic institutions globally, which connect cutting-edge research with solving real-world problems at the local level. In Indonesia, the ongoing cooperation between the Tanoto Foundation and the Wharton School highlights the importance of local leadership and innovative partnerships, including the private sector and non-traditional stakeholders, to bring this about. Global knowledge and capacity can drive local action and solutions to achieve the SDGs. We are seeing this potential in the 5 winning teams of the Tanoto I4A Competition 2021 in Indonesia. Congratulations, all of you, on your creativity and innovation to find development solutions in Indonesia. Biomon team, using disruptive technology and microcomputer-based bioacoustics monitoring system, has been able to help farmers detect and monitor pests. Chari team provides a free and open disaster knowledge services, and when called upon, the system is able to provide premium services to help clients plan their resilience agenda. Malgoods, an innovative website platform that meets the requirements of maggots breeder and organic waste supplier, who can get the benefits from selling their organic waste, which previously had zero value. The solution from Stargo is zero waste, where all waste from the agriculture and livestock sector can be utilized into useful products. Voluntrip is an app that integrates volunteering tourism and tourism activities in one meaningful and beautiful way. In the second part of this event, the winning team will receive specific recommendations on how to further improve their proposal, with a particular focus on scaling up and sustaining impact. I'm also happy to hear today that another announcement at this event will be recommendations on an executive development program for young people on entrepreneurship and social innovation in the SDG space. The first program will be conducted for the winners of the Tanoto I4A program, but will later be made available to other educational institutions and development partners. I really appreciate all these efforts in improving the quality of education in Indonesia, in developing innovation and creativity for its young entrepreneurs in the spirit of development. So in other words, you could say it is about better business and better world. And I hope that these initiatives will inspire other institutions to help local communities in the same way. Good luck with your programs. Good luck to the winners to be able to scale up their innovations and be able to help many more people as well as achieve development outcomes. And I also hope that this program, whether in Indonesia or more globally, will really create many more creative and socialpreneurs who can really deliver better business and better world. Thank you very much.
Very many
Ladies and
thanks
gentlemen,
to Marie, and of course to the World Bank. The partnership with the World Bank has been critical for the success of I4A competition. But let me emphasize that the success is very much also driven by strong local partnerships and involvement of young people. And I think this is a good point to ask my colleague Janet to tell us a little bit more about the collaboration with Tanoto Foundation, and to put that in a broader context, and maybe some of the lessons that other foundations or business school can utilize through these partnerships, as Marie said, to help young entrepreneurs around the world be better equipped to deal with the challenges of SDGs and ESGs. Janet?
Thank you to Georgia. Some of you who, many of you listening don't know me. I've been at the Wharton School for many years, and I was undergraduate dean at one point, and that's when we started a big initiative to further globalize our education. And then when you are in charge of that or overseeing it or trying to think of things to do, you wonder how students actually do get a more international mindset, if I can use it in that term, and what sort of experiences can you give them to assist them. A few years ago, the Tanoto Foundation gave the Wharton School a generous gift to help us in that effort. At that time, what we were doing had a great deal to do with Northeast Asia, particularly China and Japan. I myself, for instance, had flown several times to Beijing, Shanghai, Hong Kong, Tokyo. But Southeast Asia was much less known to us. And the Tanoto Foundation, knowing this and talking to some of us, asked the dean what could be done. And this gift was given to help the Wharton School further expose its faculty and students to Southeast Asia to learn more. And for the past few years, I've been the director of the Tanoto ASEAN Initiative here at the school and have worked with others to engage our faculty and students. And some of this is what I would call the more normal ways of doing that, which means you encourage faculty to go to countries in Southeast Asia and engage in research. And you take students on study trips. I myself have been privileged to do that for several years with some of our MBA and WEMBA students. And here I'd really like to thank the foundation because I've been going to Southeast Asia myself for 20 years. And until I started doing this, I must say, I had never ventured out of major cities, and I had never been to places like Sumatra and Pekanbaru, etc. I'd stayed in Jakarta or Singapore or someplace. So that helped me understand better the challenges in Indonesia, one of which, of course, is its immense size. So more recently, in speaking with Georgia Pekovsky, he is a colleague of mine, and I vaguely knew what he was doing. And I understood that there was a project through one of our research centers called Ideas for Action through the Zicklin Center that was meant to engage students with the sustainable development goals. Thinking about it, it occurred to me that for our undergraduate students, it might be a way to connect learning more about Southeast Asia with this Ideas for Action and with the overall goal of furthering the sustainable development goals. So we talked about it, and our idea was to have the students our Wharton students work with young people in Indonesia. And to me, this would be, to be frank, terrific, because you can hear lectures, you could do readings, you could do, case studies in class, but it's really different than being able to talk to people of your same age group and understand how they view a situation and the challenges they see, and work together. That is learning by doing, experiential learning, and it really increases capacity development, capacity building. However, doing that was completely, I shouldn't say completely, but just about completely beyond the capability of the Wharton School alone. How could we engage with young people in Indonesia with this project. And that's when we called on our friends of the Tanoto Foundation. We'll hear from him in a few minutes, Mr. Satrijo Tanudjojo, who is the CEO of the foundation, and discuss this idea of whether the foundation could assist us in first filtering more proposals for ideas for action, and then we would be linking up with the students, with the young people in Indonesia, with our Wharton students. And so I really must thank the foundation. As I said, we could not do an activity of this size without the help of the foundation and people on the ground like Feni, who I think many of our young people in Indonesia will know how much they have helped us. So today, I think we sort of see the fruits of this effort, that on other sides of the globe, young people are coming together, and the sustainable development goals are not some abstract, wonderful principles, but they're real needs that have to be met. And we can do something, maybe small, but something important and practical to further those goals. So I will stop here. I'll just say how much we appreciate the support of the foundation, and we appreciate all the young people who have engaged fully in this exercise. And I thank my colleague who has done so much of the coordination for this for us. Thank you. And let me turn it back to you, to Georgia.
Yes, thank you very much, Janet. Let me take the opportunity to also build a little bit on what you said, and maybe give you some basic information how everything started with Idea for Action. That's very interesting. Some of you are too young to remember, but there was an intensive discussion immediately by the sunset of Millennium Development Goals, before the Sustainable Development Goals were launched, and the whole conversation was about what to do new under the Sustainable Development Goals. And the conversation basically focused on two issues. One was financing for development, not just wishful thinking, we will do new goals. And second, how to engage the private sector. But what was missing big time was how to engage young people. I mean, they start talking about 15 years goals and really not paying much attention to those who will be mostly affected by these goals and who are supposed really to lead in that space. So that was the trigger of launching the I4A, even before the Sustainable Development Goals were actually launched. Of course, we immediately asked the fundamental question, how we can differentiate this initiative from similar initiative, and just few differentiating points. One was that this is not really just about young people writing proposals. It was primarily about creating space for young people to take a leadership role in managing the initiative, and also to focus on proposals which at the same time can help shape the external ecosystem, not just one proposal. And shaping the external ecosystem also means developing sense of building innovative partnerships. And of course, the Tanoto Foundation and Wharton are an example of that, but we also want to see more partnership coming from the young people perspective. The other was to put a little bit more clarity on what I call cross-generational responsibility. Young people cannot just wait and critique my generation for the mess we created. We are helping, supporting you to really not only take the initiative, but through that take responsibility for the future of the planet. You also demonstrate the big advantage of being young and organized and leadership role playing, that when pandemic broke, it just takes few weeks for the Idea for Action Club at Wharton to launch a new initiative that was entrepreneurial the COVID Africa challenge, and creating space for young people to immediately come with ideas of how to deal with the pandemic. My last context in that, my last comment in this context, again related to what Janet was presenting, was tremendous input that this initiative and interaction with young people made on Wharton teaching. I mean, it became so obvious that the students need more courses that more directly connect cutting edge academic knowledge with addressing real life problems. And them being part, not only passively taking the courses, but also influencing the way how some of these courses have been designed and delivered. And in a few minutes, we will have opportunity to hear the experience of several of my colleagues, students from Wharton on that. But before we move to that part of the conversation, I would like to kindly ask Satrijo, the global CEO of Tanoto Foundation, to tell us not only about Tanoto Foundation, but his view of important role that leadership can play both locally and globally. Satrijo, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Professor Georgia. Let me greet Professor Maria Elka Pangestu of the World Bank and Professor Erica James, the Dean of Wharton School, and all her staff, especially Professor Janice Belache, the Director of Tanoto Asian Initiative at Wharton School, Professor Georgia, the Senior Fellow, the Carol and Lawrence Zicklin Center for Business Ethics Research of the Wharton School, and also co-chair of Ideas for Action, especially also to students of Wharton School, winners of the 2021 Ideas for Action Incubator Competition, and also previous winners of Ideas for Action Incubator Competition, our university partners, Tanoto scholars, distinguished guests, all ladies and gentlemen. For you who are in the USA, let me greet you good morning, and also good evening for participants who are in Jakarta and Singapore, especially in Asia. I'm Satrijo Tanudjojo. I serve as the CEO of Tanoto Foundation. It is my pleasure to share with everyone today the announcement and celebration of the winners of Ideas for Action, abbreviated I4AIC Incubator Competition. This incubator competition is jointly organized by the Wharton School at the University of Pennsylvania and Tanoto Foundation. I am pleased to be joined by Professor Georgia Petkowski and Professor Janice Belache from the Wharton School, as we recognize winners from Indonesia. We earlier had the privilege of hearing Ibu Maria Elka Pangestu, Managing Director of the World Bank, who actually, despite her busy schedule, like what George said before, agreed to give the welcoming remarks. Thank you, Ibu Maria. For those who may already know, and maybe those who don't know, we at Tanoto Foundation are focused as to how we can contribute to the human capital development, uplifting lives, and helping the next generation of leaders realize their potential. As a philanthropy founded in Indonesia 40 years ago, we believe that realizing the Sustainable Development Goals, or known as SDGs, is both a necessary and meaningful endeavor. Tanoto Foundation's programs are very much oriented towards SDGs, and we continue to align our work with the mission of governments and the needs of the communities. Continuing the philanthropic legacy of our founders, Mr. Sukanto Tanoto and Mrs. Tinah Bingei Tanoto, our core belief is that quality education accelerates equal opportunity. This is why many of our programs harness the transformative power of education to realize people's full potential and to improve lives. To achieve wider and greater impact, we collaborate with like-minded partners such as the Wharton School and the World Bank Group. And it has been our pleasure. The I4A Global Competition and this I4A Incubator Competition are just two of many platforms Tanoto Foundation believes can serve two meaningful purposes. And the two purposes are, one, they serve to nurture SDG-minded leaders of tomorrow. And two, they help to accelerate the discovery and development of contextualized solutions for the realization of SDGs. These two actually are the two sides of the same coin. The greatest impact may come from solutions that are sustainable, sensitive, sensible, and also scalable. However, the ingenuity and impact of ideas may go as far as they are allowed to by the will, the grit, and the character of the leaders. Led by you, young leaders of tomorrow, the winners of this year's I4A Incubator Competition include a wide range of innovative solutions, as Mari already mentioned before. There is an app that integrates tourism and volunteer work, a user-friendly tool that provides the public with information and analytics on disasters, a website that connects organic waste suppliers with maggot breeders, a technology-based bioacoustic pest monitoring system, an integrated livestock manure processor that creates useful products. The ideas not only demonstrate how deeply these young leaders and entrepreneurs care for the community, but also the very thoughtful extent to which they embed sustainability in the ideas and implementation. Nobody left behind is therefore no longer only a slogan, but it is put into action. Additionally, we are grateful that the Wharton School has provided the winners with the world-class mentoring to refine their ideas and continue on that trajectory. We hope that the I4A Incubator Competition will continue to foster a network of empowered youth leaders in Indonesia, who can then serve the national and the global community in realizing the SDGs. I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate the winners. This is the beginning of a long but very meaningful journey. On behalf of Tanoto Foundation, I also would like to extend my gratitude to our partners, the Wharton School and the World Bank Group, especially to Professor Janice and also to Professor Georgia, who continue to walk this journey with our future leaders. Have a pleasant day, have a pleasant evening, and thank you very much. Back to you, Georgia.
Thank you very much, Treo. While Fran is, I hope, preparing the short video, why don't we show the short video? Because I just want to touch upon some of very important points you made. But let's see first the video.
Yes, Dania will share the video.
We all have dreams. Dreams of a better life, better health, and a better future for those we care for most. Our families, our friends, and the communities in which we live. At the Tanoto Foundation, we believe that dreams become reality when people equally are given the opportunity to fulfill their potential. And that equal opportunity starts with equal access to quality education. we are dedicated to helping people achieve this from the start, creating learning environments that nurture hope and promote aspiration, from early education all the way to tertiary pursuits, and building leaders for a future world. Enabling new and dynamic research in the area of life sciences. Quality education doesn't just improve lives, it transforms lives. It accelerates equal opportunity to give people and their communities choices. At the Tanoto Foundation, we believe in a future where equal opportunity is a force for positive change, and that a quality education will always be the foundation for that future.
Thank you very much. I just want to build what Satrijo said. I think very important point on contextualized solution. We are all overwhelmed by talking about global things, but the actual solution are definitely locally. And I think that's one of the challenges we are facing in business schools around the world. And Janet also mentioned that. Contextualization means relationship with the people in that particular locality and working together with them and having a two-way street. It's interesting that some of the projects that were presented last year from Tanoto motivate some of the Wharton students to work on similar topics. We had also an example for India that one of my student colleague, Pallavi, thinking about issue of homelessness in Philadelphia, found very interesting ideas with similar problems in India. So this is what really the partnership between Tanoto Foundation and Wharton School demonstrate that can easily provide a platform where these young people can interact and share experiences among themselves, and hopefully also taking some part of our experience operating in that space. I just wanted to tell you that we have over 100 participants in this event. Although this event was only by invitation, because we didn't want to make a massive thing, we wanted to make it as action-oriented and practical as possible. So I'm just suggesting if, and not to make one street us talking panelists, if there are some comments from the participants or questions at this stage, we'll be happy to get few, and then we will move to the presentations from the winning teams. So this is an invitation to the participants if you would like to comment, because I know that there are several other partners of the I4A initiative. So this is a good moment for you to take the floor. Of course, I cannot control 100 views here. So maybe, do you want to say something or not? Okay, we have a colleague from one of the leading pharmaceutical companies in Eastern Europe. Dusan, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Professor. I'm sorry for not being able to turn on my camera because of some weak connection. I apologize. But what I wanted to say, I wanted to greet you and your students. And I wanted to say that everything you do has huge impact on business. We talk a lot about entrepreneurship, about being innovative. And what I wanted to tell you, one of the last developments within our company is that we launched some program called Stada Plus, that we invited all the people in our company to be innovative. And we developed, for example, one product that would be innovative in the therapy of sleeping. It's a dual capsule that is releasing quickly the ingredients to make you fall asleep. And then the other part is for a constant sleep. It means that we came to some sustainable products being inspired by ideas for action and everything you did in the previous cooperation. So it means that developing young leaders and game changers within your lectures is very important for the global economy. So congratulations and thank you for all that you did for us, all the motivation and all the inspiration, and taking part during a couple of years in Ideas for Action. It was very inspiring for us and changed the mindset within our company.
Thank you, Dusan. I think this is a very good example of businesses partnering in this initiative. So these partnerships are not only with foundations or development organizations like the World Bank, but also specific companies which saw the opportunity of utilizing this platform to strengthen their innovative culture inside the organization and also be more impactful in engaging with young people in the location where they operate. I can also see the hand from my colleague from the World Bank, Steve. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Georgia, and hello, everyone. I'd like to extend my greetings to all the dignitaries from Tanoto and the Wharton School as well, and also to my own institution, the World Bank, because it's, as you mentioned, Georgia, it's a two-way street. It's actually a three-way street, multiple street of exchanges of information and knowledge between our institutions. I've had the privilege of being affiliated with the program Ideas for Action for the 5 years of its existence. I've also had a tremendous privilege of meeting with the Tanoto team representatives in Washington about a year ago, and I recognize some of them are present here today, which also enabled me, in addition to the guest lecturing speaking occasions at the Wharton School, to meet the students from Wharton as well, and the young people around the world who have participated in this very important program, where I actually learned a tremendous amount relative to the capacity and leadership capabilities of young people and the new generations in leading the way forward in development and designing private sector solutions, in particular in collaboration with government, which is my area of specialization in the World Bank and also particularly in the geographic region of East Africa. So I'd like to compliment, first of all, everyone who's been involved in the organization of the program and its execution, the tremendous talent pool that I've recognized from the Tanoto Foundation, in particular on a personal level, and also from the Wharton School perennially each year. Tremendous talent for future leaders in development, and I hope to see them and every one of you in the future professional work that you do. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve, very much. I can see that in among the participants are also last year winners of the Tanoto Initiative. So hi to them as well. And I also hope that the pandemic will somehow slow down and we will have the opportunity in the coming months to welcome the winners of this year competition, both at Wharton, but also at the World Bank. I can also see the hand from Maria, one of the global company and leaders in sustainability. So Maria, the floor is yours.
Good afternoon, good morning. I'm really excited to be for one more year with you. I have been positively surprised again for the beautiful and really, as you said, very conceptual ways of people approaching sustainability issues of today and tomorrow. I would like to say that being a company with more than 100 years of history in engaging with communities, we have been inspired by this exchange that you offered us the chance to have by taking action together with you in challenging ourselves with the proposals coming from the young people today. So for us, it's really something that also builds up our own capacity to have a spirit of entrepreneurship, if you like, because the way we need to see our opportunities is through the angle of all aspects of sustainable and, let's say, responsible development. And we don't only get inspired by young people, but they help us to bridge the gaps between generations. And this is what diversity and inclusion is about. So having this as a top issue, we thank you, and we will keep ourselves tuned for the next to comes. Congratulations to all the winners.
Thank you, Maria. And also connecting again to Satrijo's comment, contextualization is not only about the problem, it's not about location. Contextualization is also about generations. So through this interaction, my generation, your generation is really benefiting a lot, having firsthand interaction and learning what drives young people to engage in the space of sustainability. I can also see the hand of last year winners. Steve, I didn't give you the floor immediately. I didn't want to have Steve and Steve one next to the other. So the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Georgia. Yeah, it's nice to see you again in this virtual platform. And also, hello for Mr. Steven. We also met in the World Bank last year. Yeah, if you still remember me. And so the first thing that I want to do is congratulations for this year winner of Ideas for Action Incubator Competition. And I'm also personally happy to see Black Soldier Fly also win again in this year with Maggots. Congratulations, Maggots. And also thank you for the Tanoto Foundation and also Wharton School and World Bank that can make this virtual conference to happen. Last year, before the pandemic, I think that this platform will be very limited because we have to meet in World Bank and USA. But because of this pandemic, we can meet virtually with a lot of people like this, and this is an amazing platform for you. What I want to say that if you are in this Zoom room, it means that you are privileged. And I have realized in this year and the year before that this is a very big privilege that we have known about sustainable development goals when we are young, when we are even in our college. And what I want to say about this program and also sustainable development goals that we have received the global mindset, the global capacity, the global partnership, but we need to make it into action. Because of that, the name is Ideas for Action. It is not only an idea perfectly written in a paper or proposal or pitch deck, but you need to make it happen in your local. And it's happened with ILARVAE. And I'm grateful that ILARVAE, until 2021, we have built 2 BSF facilities in Bandung, and that can be happen because of the Tanoto Foundation and also World Bank and also the Wharton School initiative that inspire our team to make our ideas into action. So the next step.
Sorry for interrupting. This is really a very good introduction to the next stage, because now we would like to move to the elevator pitches from this year winners. And just to let you know that after that segment, we will have another Q&A session. So you are welcome to rejoin us with your questions and comments. And I want to go back to Fanny, if you can kindly introduce the winning teams. We decided to jointly to make the elevator pitch powerful enough not to cover all the details of your proposal, but to motivate the participants to go to I4A website, because there they can find the full proposals and opportunities, of course, to interact with you. Fanny, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Prof. Okay, tonight in Indonesia and morning in the US, we have 5 winning teams for the 2021 Ideas for Action Incubator Competition. So we have the first place winner is Fallen Trip, an app that integrates tourism and volunteer work. They have 3 members, Nadisa Siahaan, Ronald Paulus, and Adam Aziz. Later on, Fallen Trip will deliver their pitch as well. The first runner-up is Chari, a user-friendly tool that provides public and customers with information and analytics on disasters. They have 6 full members coming here tonight: Dr. Mizan Bisri, Retno Rifaat Sari, Yos Malole, Bruce Pratama, Arif Darana, and Dewa Putu. The second runner-up is Megoods, as Stephen has mentioned. It's a website that connects organic waste suppliers with maggot breeders. The team is from Universitas Brawijaya, so they're all university students. 5 of them are here: Ferianti Liana, Riris Waladatun Nafia, Alia Alivia Abror, Yoga Aditya Wicaksana, and Rio Kevin Marcelo Alwi. Rio is from IPB, I have to mention that. So the third runner-up is from Universitas Gajah Mada, who are also the student teams here. Tim Biamon is a technology-based bioacoustic pest monitoring system. We have Patrick Gani, Jaroman Sendamanik, and Andi Telaum Banua. The fourth runner-up is Stargrow, a startup focusing on integrated agribusiness, connecting farmers, livestock farmers, and the market. 3 of them are here: Ari Abdullah Safari, Marshall Amperameo, and Audrey Rahmasuci. Okay, for the first team, I think we can have Fallen Trip. Please, Fallen Trip, floor is yours.
Right. Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Perfect.
Yeah, okay. Hi, everyone. Appreciate everyone's efforts to be here. Such an honor to meet you all virtually. I think we all agree that given abundant reserves of natural resources makes Indonesia becomes one of the most beautiful country in the world. But we're also questioning why economic inequality has also increased sharply in the last decade despite the country's economic growth. We believe that those people who live in rural areas / near those natural resources are the ones who actually have lack of access. The interconnection between education, skill, and financial access can explain why inequality grew significantly. So what Fallen Trip is trying to do is reducing unequal access to education, skill, and finance through visits, or in this case, it's traveling. Fallen Trip is a digital platform providing trips to hidden gems destination in Indonesia to travelers, and we aim for knowledge transfer between them. Then locals will also get incentives for providing homestay and food to the travelers. With those efforts, hopefully we can create more opportunity for locals to grow through volunteerism. Customers are happy to travel, locals are motivated, inspired, and being helped.
Thank you, Nadisa. Okay, second team, Chari. Dr. Mizan, the floor is yours.
Yeah. Okay, good day. Thank you very much once again for the invitation from Tanoto Foundation, Wharton School, and also the World Bank for the facilitation. My name is Mizan Bisri from Chari. Chari is an Indonesian word for search. So Chari ICT tools and premium analytics services allow our international and national clients and customers to not only find the generic disaster risk information about Indonesia, but also to search and access locally relevant science, technologies, and experts that can help them reduce their disaster risk, protect their assets, be better prepared for emergency situation, and maintaining their business continuity, and even to recover faster after a disaster. Why we do so? Because we believe that Indonesia already primarily a home of disaster events into a disaster science laboratory, and now Chari is moving Indonesia towards becoming a solution center for resilient building and sustainable development. Because we understand for our clients, while big data is enriching and actionable information is critical, it is a knowledge-based investment and development that is indispensable for resilient building. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Mizan. Okay, can we have the Second runner-up, Maguts. Perianta, please. Perianti Liana.
Thank you, Ms.
Floor
Fanny,
is
for the
yours.
opportunity. Okay, without wasting the time, I will start my pitching now. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Branjiliana as the representative of Maguts. Do you know that 60% of waste in Indonesia are covered by organic waste? And it remains a big problem for humans and our earth. The interesting fact is maggots, which is known as BSF larvae, can reduce up to 78.9% organic waste by bioconversion. But it creates new problems for maggots breeder to feed their greedy maggots continuously. Here, Maguts present as the solution. Maguts is the marketplace that connects maggots breeder with organic waste supplier in all over Indonesia. We create job opportunity, support SDGs point 12, and shifting human behavior that think organic waste as useless thing to be the source of income that can also save the world. Last but not least, join us, Boost Maggots by Maguts to solve bio waste. Thank you.
Thank you. Such a passionate presentation and delivery. Okay, can we have third runner-up, Tim Biamon? Patrick, or your friend?
Good morning. Good morning in US and evening in Indonesia. Hello, my name is Patrick, the representation from Biamon team. As much as $9 billion and 90 million hectares of cropland and pasture is the amount that is at risk of locust attack, in which we could save Africa alone, according to the World Bank, by using Biamon, the revolutionary tool that automatically identifies the pest and send the bioacoustic sound that repel the pest. This fantastic tool, Biamon, in the future will prevent a locust infestation event like this. We will save all of the farmland and the money. And we need your support so we can say goodbye to locust infestation event like this forever. Thank you.
Thank you, Patrick and Tim Biamon. The last is the fourth runner-up, Stargrow. Pak Ari, please, the floor is yours.
Hello, I'm Ari from Stargrow. Stargrow is a startup that started from my anxiety as an animal husband graduate. So that most breeders in Indonesia dispose of their livestock manure directly into the environment, even though it can pollute the environment. In agriculture, the use of chemical fertilizers continues to be done excessively so that it can reduce soil fertility. Therefore, Stargrow is here to buy livestock manure to be processed into liquid organic fertilizer, solid organic fertilizer, probiotic, worms, and even biogas. Now, our focus is liquid organic fertilizer because they can be combined with chemical fertilizer to maintain productivity and maintain soil fertility. We hope to integrate agriculture and livestock, and then until the end we become starter together. Thank you.
Thank you, Team Stargrow. Okay, I'm returning the mic to Professor Giorgio Petkowski. Prof, the floor is yours.
Yeah, one more time, congratulations to all 5 winners for their projects and also for very passionate presentation. Also a reminder to the participants of this event that for more details on each of the winning teams, including the actual proposals, please visit the I4AIC website. You will get all the details. And of course, if you have any particular ideas that you would like to share with the winning team, together with the Tanoto Foundation, we will provide the communication for that. So thank you very much. Now, before we hear the closing remarks from Erica James, the dean at Wharton School, I would like to invite 4 of my colleagues from Idea for Action Club at Wharton, and also some of the students who are taking right now the Social Impact and Responsibility course at Wharton to quickly share their experience and how they benefited through the opportunities creating within the partnership between Tanoto and Wharton in interacting not only with the winners of the incubator competition, but also their engagement in the global Idea for Action competition, including the SDGs and her competition, which Marie mentioned in the introductory remarks, which focuses on women entrepreneurs.
So hi everyone, my name is Satrijo. I'm the co-chair of I4A. Lucia really covered everything that there is to know, but I'm also a student in Dr. Petkowski's Legal Studies 230 class, which is called Social Impact and Responsibility. And we've been learning a lot about the frameworks and methodologies of social impact and how do you create these kinds of organizations that we just heard about today. So what you're going to see very soon is an application of what we've been learning, right? So I've been, for the past 3 months, it's just been wonderful hearing about how do you create a social entrepreneurship organization. And Dr. Petkowski's been organizing this every Monday from 3 to 6 p.m. And this has been done in collaboration with groups from the IMF, leaders from IMF, World Bank, private organizations. It was great to see you, Maria. She was one of our speakers. So it's been really great the past 3 months, and you're going to see the culmination of all of that work. So just very quickly, thanks for letting us talk, Dr. Petkowski.
Thank you, Adam. Thank you to both of you and Lucia. I think you generated enough interest for people to also look at our possibilities of eventually organizing similar clubs around the world in other universities, and I'm sure they can benefit a lot from your experience. Let me also reinforce, re-emphasize what Lucia and Adam was saying. I mean, only last year for the global competition, they had to be part of the review process of over 4,200 proposals. Just imagine not only the workflow load, but also really opportunity firsthand to learn, not from 4,100 individuals, because if you look at that on the level of teams, we are talking over 10,000 people engaged in this. So congratulations for this. And I think our last comment from Wharton student side is from Monica. So Monica, the floor is yours.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. My name is Monica Wolodarski, and I'm a student in Dr. Petkowski's Legal Studies 230 class. Legal Studies 230 students have been engaging with their own I4A proposals and identifying capacity and knowledge gaps while actively participating in this process. This has sparked our motivation to engage in a larger discussion on what gaps exist for our generation. Gen Z, like myself, are beginning to join the professional world and push forward a global agenda to accelerate demand and create ESG impact. The collaboration between Wharton and the Tanoto Foundation is just one example of the global partnerships and shared learning processes that we believe are vital to positive change. In our capacity gap breakout room, which I'll be co-chairing with my classmate Marilyn Paraboom, we invite you to join us in an inclusive and forward-thinking conversation on what needs to be developed, what information must be relayed, and what kind of collaboration is necessary to aid in intergenerational and international efforts to fulfill and propel the Sustainable Development Goals. So really looking forward to that conversation.
Thank you, Monica, very much. Let me just again re-emphasize the fact that the students from Social Impact Responsibility class were not only providing feedback to your proposals, but at the same time, they were learning and benefiting from your insights to work on their own proposals, which connect me to which connects with the comment which were made by Janet on really how critical is to incorporate these learnings in Wharton curriculum for the benefit not only for the students, but benefit for the professors, because the pressure from student sides is pressure on us to really think in an innovative way. Although Lucia covered the activities of Idea for Action Club, I want to acknowledge the fact that Pallavi just joined us, and just to say hi before we will move to the closing remarks. from the Dean, Erica James, the Dean of Wharton. And I'll give the floor after this to Janet to make that introduction. And I hope that Fanny will be able to make the connection. Thank you very much. Pallavi, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Professor Pekoski. I apologize, I was stuck in my senior capstone presentation, so I wasn't able to join earlier. But as mentioned earlier by my teammates, Ideas for Action, we've been working pretty closely with the Tanoto Foundation for almost 2 years now, and we've been engaged in other activities throughout as well. Been really active in the Penn and the Wharton space, partnering with other student clubs on Penn's campus to provide feedback to the proposals, as well as organizing things like the ideation workshops. We typically present at the UN Youth Assembly every year, but of course, due to COVID, since that was online, we had to have an online ideation workshop instead. Besides this, we've been working with student partners from outside of Penn as well, and of course, the social entrepreneurs from around the world whose support we are ever grateful for. Thanks a lot, Professor Pekoski, and thank you all for being here. It's really exciting to kind of end the year off with this fascinating event.
Thank you very much, Pallavi. I want to give the floor now to Janet to introduce Erica James, the Dean of the Wharton School, and probably to say a few words how important is to have the support from the top leadership at Wharton for creating this kind of very, very powerful and impactful partnership, such as the partnership with Tanoto Foundation. Janet?
It's my pleasure to introduce Erica James, the Dean of the Wharton School. For those of you who are not at Wharton, you don't realize, but Erica came to the Wharton School on July 1st, which means the pandemic had started and the school was closed, the physical premises. And so she has not seen in person most of the faculty or the students, but things like Zoom make that possible. Erica's own background is not unusual. She's an academic, but in light of our previous deans, some of them might have come from finance or operations management, that sort of thing. Her specialty is organization behavior, and she particularly is interested in crisis leadership, workplace diversity, and management strategy. So today's event really gave us the opportunity to introduce her to Ideas for Action at the Wharton School. I mean, the Wharton School is a very big school, for those of you who haven't been here, many different things occurring. And it did give us the opportunity to inform her about how, through the Zicklin Center, that the Ideas for Action initiative works with the World Bank Group, and also how the Tanoto Foundation is supporting all of this. And some of you may know that right now that the Wharton School uses as a tagline, knowledge for action. So it's not just that the Wharton School is creating and disseminating knowledge, but this knowledge is for purpose for action. And it fits in perfectly in a sense with what Ideas for Action is all about. So let me turn it over to Erica at this point.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm Erica James, Dean of the Wharton School, and I am pleased to join you today to share some background on the relationship between Ideas for Action and Wharton. In 2015, the Zicklin Center for Business Ethics at Wharton and the World Bank launched the Ideas for Action initiative, which aimed to give young people the opportunity to help shape the implementation of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Under the direction of Georgia Petoskey, a senior fellow at the Zicklin Center, the initiative's goals were to enable young people to take a leadership role in improving the ecosystem for sustainable and inclusive development, both locally and globally. Ideas for Action seemed a natural partnership for the school, as our teaching and research have long had an international dimension, and because we have a strong commitment to social impact. Around the same time, the Tanoto Foundation made a significant gift to Wharton to support our efforts to have faculty and students engage with countries in Asia, and in particular with Indonesia. This gift allowed the school to establish the Tanoto Asian Initiative. 3 years ago, Professor Janice Balachi, who serves as faculty director of the Tanoto Initiative, realized that there might be a synergy between the Tanoto Initiative and Ideas for Action. Aware of the Tanoto Foundation's deep interest in improving educational opportunities in Indonesia, and thinking about ways to engage Wharton students more with Asian, Professor Balachi proposed that Wharton students collaborate with young leaders in Indonesia who were submitting Ideas for Action proposals. It was immediately apparent that this could be a mutually beneficial project. Indonesian students could receive coaching and help in refining their business cases, while Wharton students could learn much about the real, very practical challenges faced by those on the ground in Indonesia. Today's session has demonstrated that by working together, these two groups of young people can create sustainable solutions to the world's greatest social and environmental challenges. It also highlights the fact that value creation is highly collaborative, innovative, and an interdisciplinary activity. The school is grateful to the Tanoto Foundation for its support of young leaders in Indonesia wishing to submit Ideas for Action proposals. Working with the World Bank, we are able to provide opportunities to our students and to assist young people worldwide who want to prioritize social impact and gain real-world experience to address our most challenging issues. I hope today's session has inspired you as much as it has inspired me. Our students are our future, and Ideas for Action shows that young leaders from around the world not only dream of what is possible, but also have the willingness, insights, and ability to make those dreams a reality. Thank you, and we look forward to continuing our work together.
Thank you, Erica. We definitely need continuing support from the dean and the other faculty at Wharton to further increase the reach and impact of the partnership between Tanoto Foundation and Wharton and also the Idea for Action initiative. Now we will have a few minutes for if there are any additional questions regarding the presentation so far. And then we will move to the second part of the event where the winners from Indonesia and the students from Wharton will work together to further strengthen their proposals, and also equally important to jointly identify what are the area of knowledge, as Erica said, knowledge for action. So we don't want to be exclusively captured by cutting edge academic knowledge. We want knowledge for action. And you have to guide us what from your perspective, your generational perspective, you see that space of action. Or as Satrijo said, you know, contextualization to meet the needs and inspirations, the passion of you, the young generation. So I'm opening the floor. If there are any questions or comments, I can see one hand, Cecilia, I guess, or at least I captured the first part of your name. The floor is yours.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. My name is Cecilia, and I'm one of the Tanoto scholars. From what I heard, the competition is very interesting and seems like a huge opportunity for the youngsters to take part in SDGs. However, I have two questions for Professor Petkowski. First, what are the criteria for judging the proposals of Idea for Action? And my next question is, previously you mentioned that this is an exclusive competition where you need an invitation to join the competition. I want to ask, what should we do to get invited and submit our proposal? Thank you very much.
Okay, from my side, just a quick answer. You will find the details about the criteria related to the competition on our Idea for Action website. And if you have probably, yes, I see that Adam already shared the website on the chat. But basically what we are really looking at, innovative ideas. We are looking about impact. We are looking about scalability so that you can have much broader and let's call that systemic and sustained impact. And of course, the actionability of your idea. That's what we have been teaching in all our courses. Innovation is really a process. It's not just the original idea, but also to capture your process of thinking and how you are ready to further modify, adjust your idea once you face the reality of implementation. But again, for more details, please visit the website. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I think there's a second question, Professor Georgia.
Yes.
About
please.
the exclusivity.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. I want to ask how to get invited to join the competition.
There is no special invitation. Let me also clarify two things. I can talk on behalf of the general Idea for Action or global competition. We announced jointly with the World Bank through our communication channels. We also utilize the fact that we have over 18,000 alumni of this. In case of the Tanoto Idea for Action Incubator initiative, I don't know exactly what is the process. So can you kindly
maybe I
Georgia,
can. Maybe I
can I say something? I think she might have misunderstood. You said that there had to be an invitation. It was an invitation for this event occurring right now, that we could only handle so many people on the Zoom session. But to be part of Ideas for Action and submit proposals, that's totally open. And as mentioned, you can find the information on the website.
Janet, thank you. Thank you very much for the clarification. Very, very good point. Satrijo?
That's what I wanted to say, the same as James. Sorry, thank you.
Well, example of partnership, a common understanding of the issues. Great. I see another hand there from Shania.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. Hello, everyone. My name is Sania. I'm one of the Tanoto scholars from IPB University. I would like to ask to the winner, actually specifically to the voluntary team. How do you come up with your idea and propose solution? And how was the process like? Because I think it's very interesting and I would like to know. Thank you.
Thank you for the question, Shania. We actually know that volunteerism is not a new term for people outside Indonesia. Like we've seen many global volunteerism websites providing volunteerism trips to Indonesia with a relatively high price and or just volunteering. We see that Indonesia had 300 million domestic trips in 2018. We think that why not it starts with people who already in Indonesia to help others who live in rural areas while they can also go traveling. I mean, with those big numbers of domestic trips, I think volunteerism is a good idea. If that answers your question.
Yeah, thank you, Karadia.
You're welcome.
Looks like we don't have other questions. Of course, I would like to. Oh, okay. I see one more. Okay.
Yes. And there was also one question in the chat box, I think, Prof, from Daniel, Pan Crypto. I'm curious on Tanoto's opinion on the following question. How do technology challenges like internet access limit equitable access to education in rural areas of Indonesia? I think Pak Satrijo would like to answer Daniel's question probably first before we move on to another question.
I'll be happy to answer that question. As you know, Indonesia is huge and consists of more than 70,000 islands. And the connectivity is very much centralized in Java Island. So therefore, with the COVID-19, it reveals that we need to do much more in internet connectivity. Having said that, you know that Tanoto Foundation operates in rural areas. So we take the advantage that if there is an internet connectivity, then we do what we call online teaching to the teachers, so that the teachers can then teach the students in terms of online teaching. Now, it appears that it's only 30% that have that kind of connectivity. So yes, I have to say, the connectivity actually affects the equality of the opportunity. At the same time, though, Tanoto Foundation does not stand still. We help them in a way that we support them. Instead of internet connection, then we support them with the 4G connection as much as we can. We cannot reach everybody, but I guess we can expand our reach that to the more rural area. And also, we have one more program that was added last year because of the COVID-19 to help the parents to be the buddies of the children in terms of study. So normally parents are buddies of the students in terms of, or the children in terms of playing. But now we also train the parents on how to be the buddies in terms of studying together with the children. I hope that explains it. Thank you.
Georgia, can I say something about that? Yeah, it's not about Indonesia, but it's about learning students maybe hearing of an issue in Indonesia, maybe opens their eyes to something here in their own hometown. And because of the pandemic and the schools closing and going to virtual learning, some people realized that we had a problem even here in the United States and even in Philadelphia, that there was a lack of, I wouldn't say internet, well, in the rural areas, fast internet connectivity. But in big cities, whole areas where lots of people didn't have an internet connection because of, well, I won't go into why, but I just say sometimes we overlook problems. They're not it's under our radar screen, but they're there. So looking at the foundation says about the need for educational opportunity leading to equality. It's the same thing. We have that issue here in the United States too. So it was a very good question to bring up.
I mean, just to build on what Janet just said, we also have to be aware that we shouldn't be overdriven by technology as a technology provider. I mean, my students, and hopefully I will be able to share that in a few weeks from now, their experience of taking online courses at Wharton. I mean, I had to redesign fundamentally the social impact and responsibility course. Is completely different from the one I taught a year ago. The way how it is designed. The students on a weekly basis were providing feedback on the progress we are making and took part of the responsibility themselves to create that virtual learning environment, which is most beneficial for them. It was not just my responsibility as a professor to design what I taught is relevant for them. But as I said, on the weekly basis to get engaged, and I'm glad that Monica is part of this conversation, who play a major role from the very beginning of the course to motivate and coordinate students' input in the design and the delivery of the course. So I just want to kind of share this with Satrijo as well, that aspect is absolutely critical, and we have still limited knowledge on that. And frankly speaking, some professors, now I'm not talking about Wharton, are not up to the challenge of revisiting the way how you teach. So there are positive elements of the pandemic. They pushed us to think more, as Janet said, knowledge for action, not knowledge for the sake of knowledge. I think we have another question. Henry, I cannot see the full name.
Enrique Owen, yeah. Owen,
right.
silakan.
Hi, everyone. Sorry for the late hand rise. It's really nice to meet you all virtually. First of all, thank you for the opportunity. I am Enrique Owen, a representative from the Tanoto Scholars Association of Gadjah Mada University. Here, I would like to ask a simple question. What actually are Wharton School's expectations from Indonesia's Ideas for Action Incubator Competition? Thank you in advance, Professor.
This is a simple but complicated question to answer in the following sense. We will do it will be unfair to answer that kind of experience in 1 or 2 minutes, because the time is very limited and we are already over 20 minutes beyond the time we reserve. What I would like to encourage you and the other young people to join us in the second part of this event, which will be fully devoted to you young people, to join one of the groups and to see firsthand the feedback provided by the students from Wharton, the reaction from the winning team, or join the group that is working on capacity development. So that would be my short answer to your short question. Okay. Any other comment? Well, I
think that would conclude our Q&A here.
Yes. I think we are at the very end of the first part. Before I give a 5 minutes break to move to the second part, where we can prepare the breakout rooms on my behalf and on behalf of, let's call that my team, whatever that means. I would like to thank all of you for joining today. I found this not only very substantive, but equally motivational. And I think that will drive the conversation that will take place in 5 minutes from now, and will help us help the students and the winners come out with actionable ideas. Then the Tanoto Foundation and Wharton will review and support, comment for particular implementation. Just in the closing remark, Satrijo, any last comment from your side? And then I will ask Janet to finally, not finally, but to close that part of whatever order of closing. Mm-hmm.
I would like to say thank you to you, Georgia and Janice, and also to all my team who make this happen, and also to all the students. Let's gear up and make the SDG happen. Thank you very much.
And I would add that this was a team effort to put this on today, but it's really the students and young people that are participating. I want to add one thought. Someone said it, I think to Georgia, you did. We keep talking about young people, and so I think some of the young people might think we're just saying that. But it did strike me that when you think of the SDGs 2030, I mean, 10 years from now, who's going to be living with this 20 years from now? So it's exceedingly important that younger people, besides having different insights, that they really get engaged, because they're going to own the progress that's made, and it's so important to them. So it's been a wonderful activity today, and I hope the rest of the session is very fruitful. Thank you.
Okay, in the very, very last closing remarks, please don't forget the tremendous contribution, which basically means also support from both Marie Pengetsu and also Erica James, because this is really, action doesn't come without the tone at the top, and getting the support of these two leaders in development and education is exceptionally important, and demonstrate their commitment in the midst of the pandemic and all pressures both institutions are faced with, to find time to join us and make their open and closing remarks. Thank you very much to all of you. The first part is officially closed. We will have 5 minutes break, and then the young people will rejoin us. Don't disconnect, of course. In the meantime, we will be preparing the breakout rooms. Thank you very much.
Thank you all. Bye now.